G'day guys, Chronicles of Solid here and welcome back to another installment of Adventure News, where we talk the latest, the greatest and sometimes the hated adventure and dual sport stories. And this month it's all about Team Blue. We have a wet weight finally on the Yamaha T7 concept. We have a Yamaha T4 being developed by Revel Sports, and I talk more about the sad news on the WR250R, so let's get into the video. So let's just jump in with a fan favourite, the Yamaha T7. Motorrad, Germany's biggest motorcycle magazine, were given an exclusive ride, and they had some interesting insight into what will end up on the production model. The aluminium tank is speculated to go in favour of a bigger plastic or steel tank. The carbon fibre body panels will be replaced with plastic. That comes as no surprise. The subframe will be reinforced to carry luggage and a pillion. And finally, that single front disc will probably be replaced with a dual front disc with ABS. These speculations, as I said, are not far-fetched, as most concept bikes tend to get rid of their more outlandish components that gain them attention in order to be mass-produced. But by far the most important piece of information out of this article was that they weighed the T7 while they had it, and the bike came in at 185 kilograms fully fueled. So the article speculated that in road-ready trim, the estimate is probably going to be about 210 to 220 kilograms, which is smack bang in the middle of the rest of the mid-size competition. Now, I myself must admit I'm a little disappointed that they couldn't get in under that sub 200 kilogram mark, but again, it's speculation, so Yamaha could still manage this and pull a swift one on us. But if I was a betting man, I'd say it will probably weigh roughly the same as an F800 GS. There's a link in the description if you want to read more on the article. Next up is Yamaha's T4. Revel Sports were inspired by the Yamaha T7, so they've been developing a WR250F with some Dakar races to turn the 450 into a rally bike that can also be used as an adventure bike. It will be a very limited run of only 30 bikes. And there are plenty of bolt-on bits to make the bike more adventure-ready, such as a 15-litre tank, rally fairing and instrument tower, dual USB ports, LED lights, a cush drive hub, and a full racing exhaust are the most notable components. There will also be an adventure version which gets less of the go-fast bits. The adventure kit strangely does not include the cush drive hub. A cush drive would be a must for me on a WR450F if I was using it for adventure. The T4 Rally Ready model will cost you a huge $20,000 Australian, and the adventure kit will cost you $4,000. Obviously, for a Muppet rider like myself, the T4 Rally is not meant for me, and I'm happy about that because I don't have $20,000 to throw away on a bike. The concept of an adventure kit on a 450F is not a new one either. Here in Australia, the 450F is quite popular as an ultralight adventure bike. It's nice to see third parties picking up the slack left behind by the manufacturers. But here is why I would not get one, and Yamaha, I hope you're listening. If I were paying for a WR450F adventure, it would need a wide ratio 6-speed, a cush drive hub, and I would love it if they could find a way to increase the service intervals, maybe drop the compression and the power just a smidge to increase engine life. If they did, I would think they would hit close to my ideal bike. Now, I realize I'm basically asking for a WR450R, but I value lightweight, low maintenance and comfort more than outright performance. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Moving on to the WR250R. When I reported that Yamaha was ending the production of the little whizzer, I had no idea how big that story was going to get. It's generated some fantastic discussion. So let me go through the facts that we currently have at our disposal. The first is that Yamaha's Japanese website clearly states that the production of the WR250R is at an end. Second is that on the American website, Yamaha does not list the 250R in its 2018 model lineup. This leaves the XT250 as the sole 250 dual sport made by Yamaha in America. The third source was from webbike.net, in which Webbike stated that it was emission standards that led to the Yamaha discontinuing the 250R. Given that Yamaha Japan have come out and said that the WR250R is no longer going to be made, and Yamaha's America website is not including it in the 2018 model lineup, I would say that this solidifies the fate of the WR250R. Of course, WebBike's statement of emissions being the reason is certainly speculation, but I think it's probably the most obvious and clear reason. Other factors may have contributed, like sales and production costs, but emissions seem to be the straw that broke the camel's back. For more details, watch my video discussing the discontinuation of the 250R up in the top right hand corner. Finally, Everide did a video titled The Death of All Dual Sports. While the title may contain some hyperbole, he certainly had some interesting and valid points. He went through the scenarios that indicated we might be seeing the end of the big ball dual sport. Everide also discussed the situation with the WR250R, where he was gracious enough to include my video, so thanks mate. Everides' title, The Death of All Dual Sports, did cause some concern and a lot of conversation. I wanted to point out that the industry is never static. The market is always in a state of change and development. In fact, the whole motorcycle industry is in a massive state of flux to meet the new emissions regulations. If we looked further into the future, we can see the sun is setting on the combustion engine. Analysts are saying we're as close to 8 to 10 years away from the electric motor being the dominant form of propulsion. So there is always a new challenge that the market has to face, with a perpetual death, rebirth and evolution of the market. The Japanese dual sport for the most part has not had to adapt because it has not needed to. That's until now. As far as the big bore thumpers being not long for this world, I do agree but not completely. Sure, the old guard are probably not going to make it. Everides stated that bikes like the KLR, the DRZ, the DR and the XR are probably done for, and I agree. But there are scenarios where bigger displacement dual sports can and will continue. KTM and Husqvarna certainly have managed with their popular 690 Enduro and 701, and SWM are currently getting their RS650R to pass Euro 4. Say what you will about reliability, the technology is certainly there, and the KTM and Husqvarna are selling very well. Everide then went on to discuss the WR250R's discontinuation, and commented that in recent times if you wanted a modern dual sport from the big four, then it was the 250 segment that was still keeping dual sports alive. I agree with that, but where my opinion diverges from Everides is that I do not think the discontinuation of the WR250R signals the end of the small displacement single cylinder. The reason I have a different opinion is that I believe the industry's biggest focus is on the developing markets of Asia and India, where the backbone of the industry is built on small singles and will continue this way for quite some time. BMW's new 310 series and Honda's 300cc range are good examples of multi-platform singles that are doing very well. We should also remember that Yamaha was not the last to add a modern take on the 250 dual sport. Anyone who's ridden or is aware of the CRF 250L or the Rally knows this. Is it a superior product? Well, that's merely a matter of perspective. What Honda have done is adapt and evolve with the 250 dual sport space. The CRF 250L shifted and is built in Asia, sold in Asia, passes the emission standards, and offers a 250 option to the Western and European market. It's truly a global bike. It may not be perfect, but it suits a larger demographic than the more specified WR250R. It's a very strong business strategy, and an educated guess is that Yamaha will head this way if they make another 250 dual sport. The sad fact is that the production costs in Japan are too high to remain competitive. Yes, we are currently in a dual sport market vacuum with the list of reliable all-rounders getting smaller, but it reminds me of the 250 segment in the late 90s and early 2000s, where it was looking like the small displacement road bike was almost dead with only a handful of antiquated bikes available. That's until Kawasaki recognized the opportunity and brought out the Ninja 250R. Now if we look at the segment, it's packed full of amazing learner legal bikes. Hopefully we will see a similar trend as the big four shift their business models to a more global structure. If not, we always have enduros and adventure bikes to fall back on. So that's it for this installment of Adventure News. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And please feel free to leave your comments down in the comment section below. It really adds to the channel, all the discussion we have at the end of the video. And as always, I've been Chronicles of Solid, and I'll catch you in the next video, guys. See you later.